Hello. The couple of videos I've done today talked about um, behaviors, what the children can do to try and get attention, to get a connection. And I talked about being present. Yeah, we could talk about being present. I call it mindfulness. I learned about mindfulness, and I've spoken about mindfulness before. I think again, it's worthwhile talking about. It's for us, the parents, to be present. We've got a lot of parents that will be doing things, but their thoughts are elsewhere, or we're worried about um, if I do this, I'm going to get a reaction here, rather than just go with the flow. Um, but if we take it away from there, and for it to be able to go with the flow and be present, we first of all need to understand how to relax ourselves, how to get ourselves into the present moment and not worry about everything else. I've recently been struggling with my health, exhaustion, and various other things, and I'm having to do a lot more mindfulness on a daily basis. And I was talking to probably three parents over the last week about this subject of I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted, I'm fed up of apologizing and everything else that goes along with it. And I talked about, well, do you do mindfulness? Do you understand mindfulness? And one did, the other thought they did, but didn't really when we actually spoke about it. And the other one practices it quite regularly. But it's understanding that we may not have the time to do mindfulness in our heads. Um, but from the books that I've read, the videos I've watched in that, 90 seconds can be enough with mindfulness. 5 minutes, loads of time. But it's understanding what it is we're going to be doing. So, where's the easiest place to get 5 minutes? Sitting on the loo. Even just go into the bathroom, close the door, and just sit on the seat and take a deep breath. Take your phone out, find a video on there that relaxes you, that brings you happiness. So when my wife's feeling really stressed and that, she's got pictures of her grandchild. She'll bring them up. It takes her out of any problems, gives her a smile on her face, brings her back into reality, and ready to move on. It clears the head. Um, it doesn't get rid of the exhaustion. You're still exhausted, but your head's clear. You can think straighter. You can move on. So you only need 5 minutes. Well, you need a minute to clear your head if you can get the right thing to think about and focus on. It takes work to do it, but it does work. I was struggling with my exhaustion, so we went away to the coast this weekend, and I went down to the Sutton-on-Sea. I went down to the beach. The sea was really quite rough, and the crashing of the waves, and I just love it. Absolutely love it. So I take videos of the sea crashing down. The other thing I love to do is get lost in the moment of walking along the beach and what can I find. And this particular day was probably one of my better days because I came across loads and loads of interesting things. Sea snails. There was about six sea snails all latched onto each other into a big um, tower almost. And at the top of this was a big spiral of a sea urchin or something like that that had stuck to the top of the sea snails. It was really interesting to see. And there was more than one. There was about six different ones that I came across that morning. And in the in a sort of a distance of 200 meters, there was bones of a seal. In fact, two dead seals that had the bones they decomposed, but on one of them it was more decomposed than the other. So I'd got a skull, the back end, and then they've got the rib cage that are exposed and the spine. On another one, it was just the spinal column. And then further down, probably 50 meters, there was a massive seal that had been killed. Don't know how, probably hit a boat or something like that. But it was being washed up by the waves and rolling up to the beach, rolling back down, rolling up and rolling back down. It's not nice to see necessarily, but it is interesting to see because you can take a closer look at these things. And then the amount of crabs, the different forms of crabs that were there, all dead, the different sizes, the transparent ones, the really orange colored ones. That was great. And then you've got the seaweed, the sponges, the purses. I forget the actual name of the purses, but the little black with the horns on them and things like that. They were all there. And so you get really engrossed in what life is all about within the ocean. And then in with the seaweed, and I started to notice because I was really focusing on what's unusual. And what was quite sad was that the unusual should have been unusual was the stuff that live in the ocean and that come up by the ocean, the driftwood and things like that. But then there was all the rubbish, the plastic, loads and loads of small amounts of plastic. And every step you took, every time you looked in the seaweed, there was lots of plastic. I could have filled a carrier bag of the plastic that was there. I didn't because I wasn't there to collect that that day. But it did make me think there's that I didn't find it unusual. That was the norm of seeing the rubbish on the beach. And it wasn't rubbish that had been left by the sunbathers from the summer or anything like that. It's what the sea has been brought in that night from this really rough sea and what's been thrown up. So when you see on the television about all this plastic, yeah, it is there, but it's just second nature. So being in the moment, it actually highlighted what was there. And what was good for me is I texted somebody to say, this is mindfulness at its best because the aches and pains with my body had disappeared for about 2 hours. It was still there, but my head wasn't focusing on them. I was in the moment of watching what was on the beach, being excited by how much different, diverse things I was finding. Because you don't find that much normally in a day. I was lucky this morning when I was doing that. I have got pictures. If anyone wants to see them, I'm happy to share them with you. I tried to get them on here. My technical abilities, I just can't get them on. I've tried and tried because I get excited by it. The other thing I've done previously when I want to go and do mindfulness is again go on the beach and again within about 200 meters, 200 yard stretch was the amount of jellyfish and the different types of jellyfish you can do. Um, or I'll go on a walk in the woods near me at Hartsholme Park and look at all the different fungi that comes up, the toadstools and things like that. That's quite amazing. How many mushrooms can I find? Um, these are my go-to mindfulness moments. That was easy to say. Um, what is yours? Find it. Because if we can get our head clear to be in present while we're with our children and not worry about the eggshells that we're standing on, then life will become that little bit easier. Our children will relax a bit more. Yes, we're going to be tired. Yes, we're going to be shattered. Yes, our bodies will ache, but our head will be clear. And that's the most important. Just for that minute, just for that half an hour, whatever we need to do that, find a way. Don't be put off by mindfulness. It's not meditation because people just don't like meditation or are afraid of it, but being in the present. There's a book called The Precious Present, really interesting book. It's about a 5 minute read because you go through it very, very quickly. It's one of these one sentence per page with a, oh my goodness, what's this wonderful present? And it's about the gift is being in the presence. Don't look to the future, don't look to the past, just be in the moment as we are, and we will enjoy it. Our children will enjoy it, and we'll have less stress. It does work. Please try it. Thanks ever so much.